Proverbs 25 to 27. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and the material comes out for the refiner. Take away the wicked from the king's presence, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the presence of the king, or claim a place among great men. For it is better that it be said to you, "Come up here," than that you should be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom your eyes have seen. Do not be hasty in bringing charges to court. What will you do in the end when your neighbor shames you? Debate your case with your neighbor, and do not betray the confidence of another, lest one who hears it put you to shame, and your bad reputation never depart. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver, as an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover to an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to those who send him. So he refreshes the soul of his masters. As clouds and wind without rain, so is he who boasts a gift deceptively. By patience a ruler is persuaded, and a soft tongue breaks the bone. Have you found honey? Eat as much as is sufficient for you, lest you eat too much and vomit it. For let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he be weary of you and hate you. A man who gives false testimony against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, or a sharp arrow. Confidence in someone unfaithful in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a lame foot. As one who takes away a garment in cold weather, or vinegar on soda, so is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and Yahweh will reward you. The north wind produces rain, so a backbiting tongue brings an angry face. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than to share a house with a contentious woman. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Like a muddled spring and a polluted well, so is righteous man who gives way before the wicked. It is not good to eat much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. Like a city that is broken down and without walls is a man whose spirit is without restraint. Like snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a fluttering sparrow, like a darting swallow, so is the undeserved curse does not come to rest. A whip is for the horse, and a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest you be wise in his own eyes. One who sends a messenger by the hand of a fool is cutting off feet and drinking violence. Like the legs of the lame that hang loose, so is the parable of the mouth of fools. As one who binds a stone in a sling, so is he who gives honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush that goes into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As an archer who wounds all, so is he who hires a fool, or he who hires those who pass by. As a dog that returns to his vomit, so is a fool who repeats his folly. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. The sluggard says, "There is a lion in the road. A fierce lion roams the streets." As the door turns on its hinges, so does the sluggard on his bed. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish. He is too lazy to bring it back to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who answer him with discretion. Like one who grabs a dog's ears is one who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own. Like a madman who shoots torches, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, "I am joking." For lack of wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies. As coals are to hot embers and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindling strife. A word, a whisper, are as dainty morsels. They go down into the innermost parts. Like silver dross on an earthen vessel are the lips of fervent one with an evil heart. A malicious man disguises himself with his lips, but he harbors evil in his heart. When his speech is charming, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. His malice may be concealed by deception, but his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Whoever digs a pit shall fall into it. Whoever rolls a stone, it will come back on him. A lying tongue hates those who hurt, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring, lest another man praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand is a burden, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is overwhelming, but who is able to stand before jealousy? Better is open rebuke than hidden love. The wounds of a friend are faithful, although the kisses of an enemy are profuse. A full soul loathes the honeycomb, but to a hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wanders from her nest, so is a man who wanders from his home. Perfume and increase bring joy to the heart, so does earnest counsel from a man's friend. Do not forsake your friend and your father's friend. Do not go to your brother's house in the day of your disaster. A neighbor who is near is better than a distant brother. My son, be wise, and bring joy to my heart. Then I can answer my tormentor. A prudent man sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple pass on and suffer for it. Take his garment when he puts up surety for a stranger, and hold it in a pledge when he is surety for a foreign woman. He who blesses his neighbor with a loud voice early in the morning, it will be taken as a curse by him. A continual dripping on a rainy day and a contentious wife are alike. Restraining her is like restraining the wind, or like grasping oil in his right hand. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens his friend's countenance. Whoever tends the fig tree shall eat its fruit, and he who looks after his master shall be honored. Like water reflect a face, so a man's heart reflects the man. Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and a man's eyes are never satisfied. The crucible is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but a man is refined by his praise. Though you grind a fool in a mortar with a pestle along with grain, yet his foolishness will not be removed from him. Know well the state of your flocks, and pay attention to your herds, for riches are not forever, nor does the crown endure to all generations. The hay is removed, and the new growth appears. The grass of the hills are gathered in. The lambs are for your clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. There will be plenty of goats' milk for your food, for your family's food, and for the nourishment of your servant girls.